Yeah, good morning, everybody. Today I would like to talk a bit about efficient Linux client management inside the cloud, and while we talk a lot about sovereignty, right? We are also trying to provide a sovereign operating system underneath all the applications that are running. Brief introduction about B1 Systems. We were founded in 2004. From the very beginning, we already started focusing on Linux and open source software, so we are really very focused on only open source. We have many national, international clients, government agencies, foundations, corporations, small, medium enterprises. We have around 180 employees, which are mostly technical employees. We do independent consulting. We are not tied to any specific vendors or anything. And what we provide is concept development, consulting, training, managed services, support, up to 24/7. Right, and all our employees are based in Germany and comply with the EU data rights. So I would like to introduce first what challenges do we have when we implement Linux clients, Linux desktops for our customers. So when we come to the customer, we mostly find a mix of many different Linux distributions. The users do whatever they want, so they don't have really managed clients. Desktop installation is mostly complicated, time-consuming, so users have to invest a lot of time in getting their systems up and running. Access to internal resources is unfortunately mostly restricted because of IT security guidelines. Only systems that meet these mostly very strict guidelines like system hardening, multi-factor authentication, access to the network via network authentication, software sources that need to be trusted and cannot be somewhere from the internet, and of course also the administrative privileges. And after all, such a concept is very hard to support, and that's where we jump in. We're trying to get our customers a solution where they can manage their Linux laptops or Linux desktops just like any other desktop systems they have. We're trying to get to a stage where we have minimal administrative overhead and an actual supported system that complies to the company guidelines, that has standard software pre-installed, that has company branding in it, that complies to all the security regulations that are required. And of course, we also have remote access for the support stuff. And after all, we want to present the user with a flexible working environment that allows them to work from home, from insecure networks, from everywhere they want. So basically, the goal is to have a very streamlined system to provide to the users that has standard hardware. We have a change management process. We're using inventory and lifecycle management, means software is being tested before it's deployed to the actual systems, and only rolled out in stages, so we can test the software prior to rolling out to production. Yeah, so what is our LCM solution? It's entirely based on open source products. So we used a few open source products like Foreman, Cartello, to actually manage the systems, to deploy the systems. We are then using one of the configuration management, SaltStack, Ansible, or Puppet, in order to actually configure the systems and keep them compliant during the whole life cycle. And of course, we're able to manage all the big Linux distributions like Ubuntu, SUSE, Debian, Red Hat, which includes all the distributions based on these, so Fedora, Ubuntu, etc. And that all together is then a solution, B1 Linux Client Management, which provides systems management for Linux clients, so Linux desktops, but also servers in the meantime. So we also have some deployments for servers already. It's scalable. Our biggest customer currently is running like 3,500 clients on on the LCM solution. And of course, we also have things like repository management, patch management, trusted software sources, CVE analysis, and all that. The whole solution is deployed as container images. So to make the upgrade path a bit easier, we use container images. So an upgrade is basically just deploying a new version of the container image, and everything else happens in the background magically. As I already mentioned, we manage many Linux distributions, and while the system was initially only for clients, which I will come to in the next slide, we already have successful implementations in the meantime to manage also servers, cloud instances, virtual desktop appliances, IoT devices, and everything. And we strongly advise our customers always to use the GitOps approach to manage their systems. So everything is in Git. Git is the single source of truth as well for the infrastructure, but also for the configuration of the clients. Right. So where does the naming come from? Why is it called Linux Client Management? So initially we built it for traditional Linux desktops like laptops or workstations, which are often called clients, so that's where the name is coming from, but I already mentioned. In the meantime, we have implemented, because the base product is able to, we have implemented successful implementations for VDAs, hardware, virtual machines, embedded devices, IoT devices, instances in any cloud, and everything. We are able to flexibly integrate into existing customer environments, so whatever the customer environment already has, we are going to integrate the client with that, so they can meet all the predefined software requirements, all the security requirements and everything. We already implemented it successfully for smaller environments like 15 clients, but also for big ones like 3,500 to 4,000 clients. And we have, in the meantime, very successful implementations in many different areas like automotive, engineering, logistics, automation. But while these are mostly engineering devices that we manage, we also have already implemented office workplaces, and that's a bit what I come to in the next slides. So, yeah, this slide makes my open source heart a bit bleed, but in reality, unfortunately, we also have to implement with many non-sovereign third-party services and applications, and we already have implemented many of these integrations in our bigger environments. So everything you can see here, like VPN clients, like security tools, antivirus tools, some of the non-sovereign cloud services, we stumbled upon all of these already in projects, and we have successfully integrated the clients with these services. Yet, of course, and now we would like to talk a bit of sovereignty, we are also trying to help our customers if they want to move away from all that, because it's non-sovereign software, right? So one of the products we then would like to recommend to our customers, like if they would like to see a path away from the existing non-sovereign software, is, for example, openDesk, which is a sovereign, open and modular digital workplace. It is a modern alternative to already existing collaboration suites. The focus is strictly on data privacy, full user control, and there's no vendor lock-in. It's fully accessible via the browser, so it's a browser-based solution, and it's available as well as software as a service, but also for the certified, but can be running in a certified cloud, but can also be running on-premise. Right, and it's strictly designed to meet the data protection and security standards. Yeah, openDesk basically consists of many partners. CENDIS, so there will be a presentation about openDesk in more detail today at 2, I think, by our dear colleagues from the CENDIS. B1 System acts as a service provider, and there are many other vendors that work together to get an enterprise-grade collaboration suite. Yeah, and in the last year, first step is, so now we have a sovereign workplace, we have a sovereign environment, so why not have a sovereign desktop also for these environments? So the sovereign desktop in that case, logical choice would maybe be a Linux desktop, and that's why we have LCM that can deploy and manage the openDesk recommended desktops that already has the settings applied like they are required by openDesk. A very secure browser that is pre-configured and tailored for openDesk usage, pre-installed applications like VPNs and everything, and of course we also make our clients meet very strict security guidelines like BSI Grundschutz, which is also recommended for the openDesk usage. And yeah, to showcase this a little better, we did a case study together with the CENDIS last year to manage actual clients that then connect to an openDesk instance, including single sign-on and everything that people are used from their traditional desktops, so to speak, and which is fully managed by LCM, so it's all the time checked for security issues or for configuration issues that may interfere with the security guidelines, and then we have a fully managed system with combined with a sovereign workplace and everything. And that is it already. So, do you guys have any questions? Sure, go ahead.
You mentioned in one of the slides that sovereign certified sovereign cloud. So it's a certified sovereign cloud. It was running the SaaS platform from openDesk, was running in a certified sovereign cloud. That was the
right.
So could you elaborate a little more on that certification process, or in general what we understand under certified sovereign cloud?
Well, a certified sovereign cloud for OpenStack, for openDesk is basically any cloud that is mentioned on the website, right? Sorry, I'm looking at Rene here because I'm not an openDesk specialist, I must say. Yeah. So it's an. Sorry? Yes, but the sovereign clouds are mostly certified European clouds. That's what we wanted to point out with that. So, if there are no more questions, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.